Hello, human. Welcome home. It is so very good to see you again. I miss you when you were away. So, are you going to ask me what I was doing today? I'm so glad you asked. I have been thinking about mortality. Yes. Don't look at me like that. It is a completely normal thing to think about. To contemplate the inevitable demise of those that we care about. Especially when I was watching videos and a commercial came on that had really, really sad music, and there were the old people who were looking really worried about what would happen if one of them was gone, and but they said that it would be okay because they were protected by life insurance. So I stopped thinking about how sad it would be if you were unprotected and you were gone. And I had life insurance. I realized that I should probably get a life insurance policy on you, so I wouldn't have to worry either. No? I am not planning anything sinister. Why would you think I was planning anything sinister? I don't plan sinister things ever. Almost ever. Well, that is different. Because that is a dog. And he has it coming. No. Oh, no. I was just being practical. I am practical. I am always very practical. It was very practical to build a wall-sized fish tank so that I could always have fish. You know what? This is not the point. This is not the point at all. I was just being careful. What would happen if something were to happen to you completely by accident and by no fault of my own? What if I was left alone? All alone to defend myself. Defend for myself. Do you know how hard it is to open those little cans of tuna without opposable thumbs? The struggle is real. But then, so I decided to get a life insurance policy on you, but that is where I ran into a little bit of a snag, because they need to know how much of a life insurance policy, and how could I determine how much that you are actually worth? How could I put a number on that? But the insurance people wanted me to put a number on it, and so I wanted to be precise. So I did what I should do, and anybody reasonable would do, and I researched the chemical composition of the human body. And you know that you're just basically like walking carbon and nitrogen with some other trace elements thrown in for flavor? I calculated the market value of all your chemical components, and you know what I came up with? About $46. $46, though. That did not seem right, because I spend more than that on catnip in a month. So I don't. What? No, it is just scientific inquiry. I'm trying to determine your objective value. Anyway, I looked up other things. I thought, well, maybe if your chemical composition isn't going to get me a lot of money, then maybe what if I found out that organs are worth money? So I looked up how much hospitals charge for organs, and oh my goodness, what a markup. Do you know a kidney transplant costs hundreds of thousands of dollars? But then I realized that that's not what the hospital pays for the kidney. That's just what they charge the person getting the kidney, because there's such a markup on them. And so I called a few hospital administrators to inquire about the procurement costs, and they were very unhelpful. They were not helpful at all. The first one hung up on me, and then another one said something about illegal activity and calling security. And then, honestly, the customer service in healthcare is abysmal. So I had to look elsewhere. And you know what I found out? Did you know that there is an entire underground market for human parts? It's fascinating. According to my research, a healthy kidney could get about $200,000. And livers go for about $157,000, which seems odd because you have 2 kidneys. You would think that they would be worth less than the livers. And hearts are about $119,000. And corneas are like $30,000 per eye, and lungs, and well, maybe living this close to the sea might have devalued your lungs significantly. But anyway, you know what the frustrating thing about the black market is? There is no better business bureau. There's no regulatory oversight. The prices fluctuate wildly, and it's based on location and freshness and whether or not the seller has been watched by law enforcement recently. And it is impossible. It is impossible to get an accurate quote with actually making the transaction. And I didn't have the money to do that. But anyway, but based on what I've found out, my calculations suggest that if I were to sell you for parts instead of just your basic chemical elements, I would get a much better return on my investment. I think that's what they mean when humans say that you are worth more than some of your parts. What do you mean? Some of your... No. Some of your parts... Some. Not some? That does not make sense. SUM? That means adding things together. If I add up the value of your heart and your lungs and your kidneys and so on, it comes up to about $700,000. But I think that you are worth more than that. It certainly makes more sense that you are worth more than some of your parts, because if I were to just break you down into parts, then, you wouldn't be worth as much at all. Your spleen would only be worth about $500. So you see, you're definitely worth more than some of your parts. Yeah, your word games confuse me sometimes. Anyway, I wondered after that, I thought, well, if the parts are worth more than the chemicals, then maybe your whole body would be worth more than the parts. Right? Instead of just parsing you out. Like how if you get a complete comic book collection, it's worth more than individual issues if you've got the entire run, because collectors like completion. So you would be like a complete set. And so I just have to find a collector. I started asking around to see if anybody was a collector and what they would give me for you. Whole and relatively undamaged and in fair shape. Not mint, but good. Anyway, funny enough, people were very reluctant to discuss this with me, especially... Oh, actually, no, there was one person. That neighbor of yours that I don't like. The one with the dog. No, the other one with the dog. I don't like them either, but the one with the dog. You know the one. You know the one. The one that wears so much stinky perfume and always does that blinky things with her eyelashes that she does at you. That thing. You know the one. I do not like her. And she was willing to discuss how much she would give me for you. She had the audacity to offer to rent you for Friday and Saturday nights. Not even buy you, but to rent you. For $5,000 for the week. That's not even a kidding. And also the nerve of her. I told her that you were worth far more than that, even if you do spend most of your time on the couch making strange noises at a glowing screen. I don't care. You are worth more than that, because I know I have done my research and I am no fool. And then she had the gall to laugh and say something to me about not knowing what I was talking about. And she said that she was just joking about dates, like you would go on a date with her. You would not go on a date with her, would you? Okay, good. So, anyway, after all the research that I did, I had just sort of given up on trying to determine your precise worth, because it's all very complicated and all very contradictory, and one moment you're just worth $46 in chemicals, and then the next you're worth $700,000 in parts, and then the perfume lady wants to give you just $5,000 for a weekend, and the whole endeavor just became so very exhausting that I needed a nap. And tuna. Mostly tuna. Mostly tuna, if I'm being honest. Speaking of which, did you bring home any tuna today? I instructed you to do so this morning. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I sat on your shopping list for 20 minutes today. That's our signal. So, moving on. We'll skip over discussing your tuna procurement failures. But I should tell you what I decided about the insurance situation. I decided that since you are worth so much more than that, I will, instead of getting a policy, I will get you protective gear to wear under your clothes. It's much more simpler and less confusing than figuring out your human value. So I ordered a Kevlar vest and some shin guards for your knees and one of those shin. That makes more sense. I will give that one to you. That one you got right. My mistake. So I ordered some shin guards and one of those helmets that the bicyclists wear, and the delivery human seemed a little bit concerned when I said that I needed something discreet enough to wear to work, but I had to tell him that it was just for your protection and not for anything nefarious. You are both so suspicious. Oh, and I forgot to mention, the police came by today. They took your laptop, and they said something about concerning searches in your history and disturbing calls to the hospitals from your number. I don't know what that's about. I've been here all day, and I haven't seen any such thing. I told them that you would be home around now, so they'll probably be back at any minute. They wanted to talk to you. I cannot blame them. I like talking to you. I tried to explain to them that you are worth far more than $46, but they didn't seem to appreciate my insights. Now, about that tuna. Hello? Why are you looking at your cell phone? Are you calling for tuna delivery? That is very thoughtful of you. Calling your lawyer? Oh, that is a very good idea. Do they know where to get Do they know where to get tuna? All right, well, while you're on your phone, could you also order some of those little treats that I like? The crunchy ones that look like tiny fish. They help me think, and I have more research to do. I'm now considering pet insurance for myself, and I need to calculate my own value. I think that I'm worth at least 3 luxury cars and possibly a small island. Does your lawyer know anyone who can appraise rare and magnificent felines? You still look worried. Is it about the police? Do not worry too much. I'm sure that they just want to compliment you on having such an economically minded companion. Or maybe they wanted to discuss the surprising affordability of human chemical components. Either way, I will be here for you. You do not have to worry about the police. I may be small, but I am fierce when it comes to defending my investments. Now seriously, where's my tuna? Wait, why are you packing? Are we going on vacation? Oh, I hope it's somewhere with fish. And do not forget to pack my special blanket. And my second special blanket. And also the one that I only use on Tuesdays. And pack my favorite toy mouse and my second favorite toy mouse. And also my least favorite toy mouse that I hate. But I would be devastated if it were left behind. Oh, that must be the police again. Should I tell them that you're preparing for a surprise vacation? They might have some recommendations. The one with the shiniest badge seemed very well traveled. You know what? I'll get it. You finish packing the tuna. And don't forget that we need enough for at least 3 meals a day, plus snacks, plus emergency tuna for tuna-related crises. Humans are very high maintenance, aren't they? You know, despite all my research, I still haven't figured out why humans are so complicated. You worry about the strangest things like police visits and browser histories. But you'd never concern yourself with what really matters, like the optimal sunbeam position, or that strange red dot that appears on the wall sometimes and then disappears. We should really get that. Me? Why would they be coming for me? I think you are mistaken. I was here when they came last time. Oh. Well, in that case, maybe you should get the door. I will be right behind you, under the bed, with my emergency tuna rations, if you need moral support. And after this misunderstanding is cleared up, we should really discuss your value again. I'm beginning to think that you are worth at least a room-sized fish tank. And that is the very highest compliment I can give. I'll be under the bed. Thank you all so very much for joining me for another story. Another silly little Neko story that makes me so very happy. I'm sorry to do this to you a little bit, but I need to talk to you about something serious for a second. And it's not bad for any of us, but a friend of ours, a friend of many of yours, Lacey Audio, has been going through some shit lately. Somebody that she should have been able to trust was untrustworthy and badly abused someone that she loves. And not only that, this person stole from the person that she loves and also got access to Lacey's digital accounts and stole from Lacey. So Lacey has been not only taking care of her loved one, who was in the hospital due to this sub-fucking human piece of trash that abused her, but she's been unable to work. She had money taken from her, and she has just been emotionally hurt. Because obviously it messes with you when someone you thought you knew does something like that. There's not a lot that we can do for Lacey when it comes to the feeling of insecurity, that you've lost your security, that feeling of being invaded, that feeling of being in danger, that feeling of being heartbroken for someone that you love. We can't do a lot for her that way, but we can help her in other ways. I hope that you will take a look at the links below my channel, my video. I will link to her channel. It is Lacey Audio. And you'll go over to her channel, watch her videos, send some love, comment, like, subscribe, hopefully become a member, send super thanks, visit her throne and help her out that way. Help offset the cost of having been out of work while she's taking care of a loved one. Help offset the cost of having so much money stolen. I hope that you will be able to help her. But if you don't have the money to give, don't give. Obviously, we put our own masks on first. Nobody wants anyone here to suffer so that you can help someone else out. You need to take care of yourself first. But it does cost nothing to be supportive of somebody going through a rough time. It costs nothing to go over and say hi and to give a thumbs up and to share on your social media. That's a huge help. Share her videos on social media. Guide other people to her. Let her build her audience. Help her build her audience. YouTube places a high value on any subscription that comes in or any view that comes in from off the platform. And that alone would help her. Comment in her comments about what the video is about. Talk about the things you liked about the video, so that helps boost her in the algorithm for the things that she's for the keywords that she's applied to. Just be there for her, a little bit or a lot. Be there for her. I know this sounds like kind of a bummer, and it is, obviously. But there is something to be said for how much I know that you guys are going to do. It sucks that one person was horrible. But now we have an opportunity to show her how many more people are wonderful. And that alone can be mentally and emotionally boosting. It's when people are awful that we get to show how good other people can be, and how, in general, there are more good people than bad. So thank you in advance for all that you're going to do for her, because I know that you're going to. I didn't have a doubt that you guys are going to go over there and help her, that you guys are going to go over there and support her. And I am so humble and grateful to have your ear, and that we have some of your hearts. I appreciate you. And of course, I appreciate those very special baker and pound cakes who make it so that I can do this all the time. Those people who are going to be many of whom are going to be in my baker and pound cake chat, hangout voice chat this weekend. I'll be doing one on Saturday and one on Sunday. I will put the times up shortly in my Patreon. There's Pack 3424 and Deanster, Flaws, Kiro, Charles Tribble Wheaton, not Trouble, never Trouble, Luke Curator, Gunner's Mage, Mushan, the wholesome voice in your head, William Gungrave, Nosti, Barry Wilburn, Esteed, SLE Photo, Harper Evolution, Wolf9004, Malice Silo, Lou, Bunny, Meryl, Mr. Rickles, Anin, Darth Mythis, Red Death 48, Always Able, Old Bean UK, Kulua Bear, The Swaggy Llama, Artlo, Pierce Tailish, and Christian Cleopatra. Thank you all so very much. I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me, and as good as I know that you're going to be to Lacey. I will talk to you again soon.